Being a spinster, I never thought I wanted anyone focusing their attention on me. Fast forward to when I got married. I married a man who was always holding his phone, and then even when we're together talking, he will still be pressing his phone. I never really liked it, although I found out that most of the time it was work related, but I still wasn't happy. Hence, I went into my library and brought out his book, Gary Chapman's 5 Love Languages. Quickly searched for what I wanted, and I added it to our to-read book as a couple and a family, and that brought about a sporadic change in our conversation. Hello everyone, and welcome once again to another episode of the Review With Me podcast. I'm your host, I'm your walkthrough reading coach, Mrs. Peace Terminal. I hope you've been able to catch up on all our previous episodes. And yes, we have started the love languages. Last time we talked about words of affirmation, and today we'll be talking about the second love language. Please, before we go on, if you know you are like me, or you know someone who is like me, tag a friend who you think needs this particular conversation, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow. Anyway, here we are reading Gary Chapman's 5 Love Languages, and we are in chapter 5. Yes, chapter 5. And I have a surprise for you. I won't be doing this review alone today. I have someone with me. This person I'm about to introduce to you is a pastor's wife, a counselor, and an educationist. In fact, she's one person I can call my friend and sister. She's also the mother of 3 lovely, beautiful girls. I'm sure by the time you see her, you won't even know. I don't even know what to say because there's so much to say about her. Anyway, drum roll. Dun, 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 dun. Help me welcome Mrs. Blessing Kanule. Welcome, and thank you for being with me today.
You're making me to blush.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. So nice.
Thank you very much. Actually, I just spoke to her, I think last week, and I said, would you like to do a review a chapter with me? And she was like, okay, no problem, I'm good to go. That's why I say she's my friend and my sister. I can just bully her into, Anyway, quickly, without wasting so much of your time. So today we'll be talking about the next love language, which is quality time. And if you watched chapter 4, if you didn't watch it, please go watch it and make sure you subscribe so you can have a hitch-free watching. If you watch chapter 4, you realize that words of affirmation had dialects, and that is one of the things people don't tell you. They just go straight and tell you your love language. I was shocked the first time I read this book, and I found that truly there are dialects, different dialects of a language. Quality time also has dialects, and we'll be going straight into the dialects of quality time. Once again, thank you, Blessing, for joining me. I call her Madam Blair. Alright, so let's go into the dialects of quality time. First and foremost, very quickly, what did you feel when you found out that quality time also has dialects? What came to your mind?
It's really interesting because we speak different languages.
Okay, yeah.
We were in River State, for instance, but there are different dialects.
Yeah, true.
In River State, so I think Gary Chapman did a nice job there. We have different dialects. So I felt, for me, I'm from Ogoni.
Okay.
And my husband is from Ogoni too, but we speak different language.
Exactly.
So it reminded me of a lot when we started. Like, there are some things I will say and he will say, what did you say? Is that how you people pronounce this?
Right.
How come you don't understand? Are you not an Ogoni? Okay, so it really speaks a lot.
Now, remember I told you that a couple may have the same love language, but their dialects may be different. Just like what she said with her husband, they are both the same tribe, but their dialect is different. So that's how it is with love languages. So let's go into the first dialect of quality time, which is focused attention.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say about that?
Okay, focused attention is very, very important. Like Gary Chapman put it, he broke it down in a way that you can understand. Now, most couples, when they are talking, they are there, but they are not there.
Okay.
They can be seated with you, but they are not available. They are not present. Remember, quality time. So the heart of quality time is you giving me your time, you giving me yourself.
Wow.
So when you're there, you're not just there physically, but you're there mentally, you're emotionally connected, you're mentally connected, you're not distracted. So focused attention is focusing on me, my feelings, what I want, what I have to say, how I feel. Wow. So you're not listening to me to interrupt me, to judge me, or just for facts. But you're listening for feeling.
Oh my God, I told you.
So the attention is on me, not on what you want to say or what you want to understand. You want to understand me. You want to feel how I feel.
All right, thank you very much. I told you guys, we're just starting. Can you see the passion? She has not even gone far. She has already entered the gear. All right, let's go to the second dialect. So basically, just as she said, focused attention means focusing on your partner. You don't have to give the whole 24 hours in the day to that person, but even if it's 5 minutes you have with your partner, let your attention completely be on the partner. Remember, we talked about some communication skills, and one of the important communication skills that comes comes into play when it has to do with focused attention. Every part of you, your eyes, everything. In fact, if you can breathe in your partner at that point, is very important.
And that is why the person feels loved, because you have given that person undivided attention.
Thank you very much. So let's go to the next one. We'll be talking about quality conversation. Quality conversation. Now, when I was reading about quality conversation, I was like, how does quality conversation concern this matter again? So what do you have to say about quality conversation?
Okay, according to the book and the way I understand it, quality conversation is an intentional and meaningful dialogue. Okay, where partners listen to each other, where partners interact, engage, and connect with themselves. That is quality conversation.
You're not listening to solve the problem. You're not listening to bring suggestion. All right, so before we go on, let me continue. I told you this book is filled with real life experiences. Gary Chapman talked about a woman who always came back home and was telling her husband about a particular issue she had in the office, and when she starts talking, the man will tell her, do this, do that, and
it's very annoying.
Thank you. You know, women. Now she goes back to work and comes back the next day and repeats the same complaint, and he gives her the same suggestion, and then by the third time he asks her, did you do what I said you should do? And she said no, and it's like, so why are you telling me? And before you know what is happening, the person is getting angry. It's not necessarily. In fact, when I was reading this book, I remember the skit I actually watched where the man, I think is What Women Want or something, some women were gathered and they were telling him, like when she says the traffic is so high, it's so much, and I tell her, okay, you have to wake up early and go to work. The woman now shouted, no, don't tell her that, just tell her, yes, I understand that the traffic is, and you know,
must you be logical? I know I have to wake up early, prepare and go to work, but
just be sympathetic. Let me say, child, sorry, I'm so sorry the traffic was.
We make things difficult, things that are very simple, but you just want to be logical, you know. That's where empathy comes in.
Yeah, so actually quality conversation involves a lot of empathy. They are not asking you for solutions, they're just asking you to listen to our thoughts.
At that point, we don't even need your advice.
I remember when one of our pastors was preaching in church, and he said he had to learn by experience, because every time his wife comes and she's talking and he's giving her advice, and then later on when he found out that he was doing it all wrong, he said when she comes to talk, he will now ask her, is this for listen or is this for advice? She will not tell him listen first.
Yes.
And then that saved him a lot of things. So the day she wants advice, he asks, and you would think he's actually listening, but he's trying to understand his wife better so he can love her more and have her emotional tank filled up. Thank you very much. So under quality conversation, I love the fact that Gary Chapman actually broke it down. So we'll be looking at some practical conversation tips that can help quality conversation go on very well.
Okay.
So let's talk about the first one. He said we should maintain eye contact. So what do you think eye contact will do for us?
It will do a lot.
Okay.
Yes. Most times we get distracted, especially with our devices.
Yeah.
So when you're maintaining eye contact, you're reading the mind of your partner as a person, because you will learn a lot. You will read your partner's emotion, body language, and a lot of things. So eye contact is very, very important. It shows me that you're actually listening.
All right. So he also said, don't be doing something else and be saying, I'm listening. For example, I'm cooking and I'm listening. And if you actually are busy at that moment and it's very important for you, you can tell your spouse, please, can we talk about this in 5 minutes time? Do you agree with that statement?
Yes, I agree with it. So that, and you put it this way, I think what you're saying is, like this, just for example, I think what you're saying is very, very, if I'm interested in it, or you can put it in any other way, but just let your spouse understand that you're interested in what he or she wants to say. Can you just give me a few minutes, because I really want to listen to you.
Right. Thank you. Fine. So the next tips for conversation is you should listen for feelings and emotions. Try to find out, and then whatever feelings you are suspecting, you have to also confirm from your spouse. Have you ever experienced this in your years of marriage?
Yes. Listening for feelings and not just to get the facts. It helps. It happens a lot when we are. I can't really remember the very clear example to give, but listening for feelings, like what we said earlier, helps me to understand, or helps you to understand your partner's emotions.
So have you ever asked your husband, okay, in the case where a particular event happened and your husband is narrating it to you, have you ever asked him, how did this thing make you feel? Have you ever asked him that question before?
I have, although my husband is more of a, how do I put it, he does not really express his feeling, but as a wife, I know.
Try to probe.
Yes, I know when he's feeling excited, when he's feeling good or bad. I know. So even if he doesn't tell me, I know. So what I do is I just go close.
Thank you very much.
I'm not sure I'm there for him.
Thank you. Now, she made a statement saying her husband is not someone that really wants to open up a lot. We are coming to that. That is a very important thing. I've got something very unique to say about that. Please just make sure you watch this video till the end. Now, the next tip for conversation is observing body language. You know, people talk, as you see, I was introducing her, she was busy blushing on her body. My friend is very shy. She doesn't even want to look at the camera. But Livo, forget this shyness. Once she climbs the altar, she's something else. She's a lioness. So you. So we also have to listen for observe body language. And then finally, for the tips, let's talk about very quickly refusing to interrupt when your partner is talking during a conversation. Just say something about that in like 5 seconds.
Yes, this is paramount when it comes to conversation, quality conversation. You know, a couple can be talking, but they are not connecting. They are just talking. You don't interrupt. You interrupt in many different ways, like not even allowing the person to arrive.
Yeah.
You just, it's either you're asking questions, you're responding when you're not supposed to respond, you're judging. You just allow your partner to talk while you do the listening. This will help you to know where to ask clarifying questions. It will help you to really understand the person, or what the person is talking about, or what the person is feeling, so you don't interrupt. Now that's scrolling through your phone.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, do you know that research and statistics shows that the average human being listens for just 17 seconds and then they are prepared to interrupt. In fact, you know, there's this assumption mentality. When the person starts talking, in your mind you're feeling very smart and you've concluded the story for the person. So before the person will finish, you are ready to chip in. And no, now that person is, even if you are angry on the person's behalf, you just have to, you know, calm down and interrupt. Drop your phone. I saw something else where a couple actually had a family rule amongst their family rules that phones don't go with them to the dining. In fact, when you come back, at that moment when you come back, for the next 1 hour, family time, no devices. So they have a basket where they drop their devices and then they focus on family. I think implementing that rule actually help families. What do you think?
It's very good. In fact, in my family, we don't go to bed. I'm out. We don't go to bed with phone. Once it's bedtime, drop your phone.
Wow. Yes. Oh my God.
Until we are done with talking or doing other things.
Oh my God. If you are not married, why now? If you are not married,
you know, our device cause a lot of problems.
Yeah,
lot of distractions.
True.
You know, your partner start feeling like your device is more important to you.
Yeah,
and it's very annoying. You're talking to someone and the person is scrolling.
It's actually very annoying.
And when you wake up the next day and ask the person will say, what did you say?
Oh my God. Remember the story I told you earlier? I really didn't find it funny. Although I got to understand that a lot of work was going on and most of my husband's work was actually, they send messages online. But I just needed to set something straight. I needed a structure to go on in my family. Alright, so those are the conversation tips in order to help have quality conversation. Now, still under quality conversation, we'll be talking about learning how to talk. Some people don't know how to open up, which is one of the things I said when she talked about her husband not being someone who is very expressive. So let's use the next 15 seconds to just talk about how couples learn how to talk to open themselves up so their spouse can know them better.
Okay, you know, are you talking about you know, we have this babbling?
No, that we have not got to that yet. Okay. This is just learning how to open up and talk about yourself. Let your spouse know what you are feeling.
You can actually do that. Like there's something called a conversation routine.
Okay.
Yes, you can create it. You tell yourselves we can be talking about 3 things or 2 things at the end of each day.
Okay.
So you make a list of what you are going to be talking about. Just you can learn it. Even if you're not a talking type, you can learn it. Learn how to express your feeling. Learn how to talk when you're angry, and even when you're excited, still learn how to talk, because what you say, how you say it, when and where you say it matters a lot. So we can actually learn how to talk. Whether you're a bad talker, a good talker, I don't know how to put it, but yes, whatever it is, you can learn how to communicate well.
Yes. So now, quality conversation does not just involve you listening. Okay, you know, words of affirmation has to do with what you say. Quality conversation has to do with what you hear, and it doesn't just involve you listening. It also involves you being able to reveal yourself. Your spouse needs to know you. Remember, we talked about filling the emotional love tank, and in order for your spouse to be able to ensure that your own emotional love tank is properly filled, you have to open up, you have to speak. And I realized that most of this, and also Gary, I agree with Gary Chapman, he said most times people don't know how to express themselves. They don't know how to even name their feelings. And that is why now here comes a parenting tip. It is very important for you to teach your children how to start recognizing and naming their feelings. In this part of the world, most of the times we actually don't even know how to name our feelings. We don't know when we are angry and when we are frustrated, when we are anxious, when we are scared. We just target a particular thing, but these are different feelings, and that is why I recommend the emotional intelligence course. Make sure you are applying for that course with a renowned specialist. Okay, so that way when you get to name your emotions, you know how to name your emotions, you are talking to your spouse, you can express yourself better.
Yes.
So I love the fact that Gary Chapman also gave an example,
and he gave an example. I think he talked about you writing down how you feel or how you felt
exactly concerning a particular event that
anything
happened.
that
Yes.
happened within the day, maybe as you were going to work, to the office, what happened, how did you feel?
How did you feel? That
Yes.
way you are naming
Yes.
the emotion. It helps you to be emotionally
You can even have a notepad where you note them
down. That helps you. You see why writing is very important.
And it's not just how you felt. How did you react?
Yeah, true. You see why journaling is very important. It makes you self-aware. It makes you know a lot of things about yourself. So for example, you have a project that is due in 2 weeks time. What exactly do you feel at that moment? You may be feeling frustrated because you are not done with that project. You may be feeling anxious too because time is not on your side. Now the question is, how do you react based on that feeling? Did you let your spouse know, or did you just go ahead and pour your frustration and anger on her and anxiousness on that person when they try to find out if you are okay or not? So that takes us to the last part of quality conversation. Now we'll be talking about the babbling brook and the Dead Sea. Now the Dead Sea is actually coined from a sea in Israel, which exactly means what it is named, Dead Sea. So the Dead Sea actually is a sea that receives, it takes in water from different channels, but it never gives out. So just like the Dead Sea for a sea, there are human beings that are dead seas. What do you have to say about that?
Yes, there are human beings, there are persons that can receive. They have this they have huge reservoir to collect. Yes, they can collect from left, right, anything, but they don't give out. You can discuss and share your feelings, your emotions, your problems, your needs with them, and they just swallow, they just take it, and they are comfortable with it. They are not complaining, they are not angry. That is who they are.
But they don't know how to
they don't know how to say their own. They don't know how to give you out. And this has some people see it as a bad trait, but if you look at it, it's actually not, depending on how you understand it and how you handle it. So there are people like that. They don't share, and you, like, if you're the talking type, over time you feel, why is this person not talking? I hope I'm not just selling myself. But that's just how they are. They can receive, but they can't.
So that's the Dead Sea for you. Now we'll go to the babbling brook. I'm sure you might have guessed what I mean by the babbling brook.
These are the toku, and they can talk. They don't have any reservoir. They can't keep. Anything that happens, they let it out. They let it out. They don't keep. If you go on a date with a babbling brook,
voila, you don't need to say anything. They will have the conversation for the
They will help you. You don't need to start it. They are conversation starters. They are the talker. They end everything. All you need to do
is sit there
and be doing
and be nodding your head.
Wow. Once you're doing that, they are okay. And you know that when they are usually a good match. Sometimes
exactly. Most times, it's not even sometimes. Most of the times, babbling actually get
married to
the Dead Sea. Because and what actually attracts them, have you noticed, is the fact that this one is talking. I just love the fact that she's so lively. And then this one will say, this person is a very good listener.
You can listen, because that is what they want. They want you to listen to them.
You can't share their spotlight.
Yes.
Few years down in the marriage, according to Gary Chapman, say, this is marriage. When the reality of marriage set in, that same thing that attracted you will not be an issue. Can't you say anything? I don't even know what he's thinking.
The woman is saying, for 5 good years, I don't think I know this man. I don't even know him.
And the man is saying, I know.
But you can actually learn.
Yeah, that's the thing. And that's why we are doing this. Remember, I told you that in this space, we actually pick books that help you develop yourself personally and improve your capacity. And that was why we started with the personality book, Temperament. So you get to know yourself. Now we're talking about love language, which is also helping you know yourself. So you know where you need to work on. And remember that the only person that can help you work on yourself is the Holy Spirit. If you are not a child of God, you need to accept Jesus into your life, because he is the one that can help you strengthen your weaknesses and magnify your strengths so you can enjoy marriage. Trust me, as much as marriage is work, marriage is also sweet. Truly speaking, marriage is sweet. Abby, she has been married for longer. In fact, she was married when we were in school.
Marriage is sweet.
Unlike me, so you know, we are still
on how you put it. According to is it Pastor Funke, and the kind of cutlery.
Yes, as in you must cook it well, add the correct spice, and then use the right cutlery to eat it. All right, so let's go to the last dialect of quality time. Remember, we're talking about quality time, and that has to do with quality activities. So what would you say about that?
As quality activity has to do with what we do together, what we do together as a couple. You know, according to Gary Chapman, quality activity has to do with partners doing things that either both of them or one of them love doing. So if I see that my husband loves gymming, going to the gym, even if I don't like it, I do it because of him.
Yeah.
And when I'm doing it, I'm expressing love to him. Sometimes it could be something two of us love doing. We do it together. Okay? What's the need if we have things in the house? Maybe, you know, before my husband, sorry, let me just chip this in. He likes buying things, providing things, and sometimes I will feel ungrateful. I will act like I'm ungrateful because I need quality time. You didn't ask me, but I'm telling you now.
No, of course, I was going to come to that.
So, what is the essence? Providing these things when we are not using it together. So, thank God he learned, and today we do things together. It tells me we are a team. And
wow, and if you meet this couple together, they are just cute. They are very, very cute together. And I love what she said. She said he learned. This is a space for us to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Everybody. In fact, if you are not learning in life, then you are stagnated and you cannot grow. Now, quality activities doesn't really need to be so much. Gary Chapman gave a lot of examples. It could be visiting a historical site together, or a recreational center together.
Even
it could be cooking, thank you, or baking. You can actually set up baking challenge. Okay, babe, we are baking this, let's see whose own will be sweeter, and then everybody is baking in the kitchen. You don't necessarily need to do so much. It could even be something as little as making noodles together. So let's not even say, okay, baking, you have to do a lot of buying of things. Making noodles, you make your own, I'll make my own, and we'll find out whose noodles.
Do you know one romantic thing that we did when we were coming up in our early days?
Okay.
And I love it. When we want to pound the yam, my husband loves pounded yam. I'll cook the yam and he will come to the kitchen. It's either he's doing the pounding and I'm putting in the yam, or I'll do the pounding and he's putting in the yam. Very, very interesting.
I'm very happy for you, but you see me, I've always said it that if I marry a man that likes pounded yam, it's not a bad thing. I will prepare the soup, I will boil the yam, I will sit with you in the kitchen, and I'll be helping you put in the yam. And you know, people from Ekiti that don't even like this pounded yam, technology has made things easier. They'll tell you, they like that original one that you pound. Please, the Lord is giving strength. It's not for us. In fact, in this case, that was then, and the Lord. In this case, me, I claim to be a Gen Z. I cannot pound yam.
I said that was then. Now we are Gen Z moms.
All right.
I can't even remember the last time, but it was actually very interesting.
Okay, so as you heard in the course of the conversation, she told us she's somebody who loves quality time. In fact, she actually likes quality time. Even with her friends, she loves quality time. Is there any other? Do you have anything? I don't want to introduce the other love languages yet, since we've not talked about them. But will you say you're a words of affirmation person?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
So in quality time, what basically is your dialect?
Focused attention.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, focused attention. I come to realize this because I notice if I tell you something and we are talking about that thing again and you ask me, when did we talk about it?
It's quite irritating.
It gets me so irritated. I won't even answer you. So I'll be like,
painful.
You mean you weren't listening? So I have come to understand that it is a focused attention.
Wow. Anyway, guys, I would have really loved for us to go on this conversation, but we have to draw it to a close. Remember, we don't make it too long so you can watch and enjoy. I hope you had fun in this session of the review. Once again, thank you, Mrs. Blessing, for being with me. Thank you for reviewing with me. I hope we can have you come again for I don't know, put us in your itinerary. If not, I will bully you and drag you down here anyhow. Alright, so my question for you as a couple is, what exactly has detracted you or distracted you as a couple from spending quality time together? That's one. Secondly, are you a quality time person? What do you think is the most important dialect, or which dialect calls out your name the most? Please put it in the comment section, and I promise you, as usual, I will respond to it. Thank you very, very much for staying with us. Please also write down where you're watching this podcast from, and I promise to give you a very big hi. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow. Invite others to come join us while we read and recultivate once again the reading culture in our society. Thank you, and God bless you. Bye.